Welcome back again, Science Warriors. We're here for our second flip video of the year with our unit on elements and compounds. Today we're going to talk about compounds and a little bit of like what are they, how are they different than everything else. So our EQ for today is a two-part. What is an atom and what are the differences between elements and compounds? Alright, let's continue on with it. So let's start with what is an atom. So right over here is a representation of the parts of an atom. Atoms make up all matter, elements, and compounds. Everything that is made of matter is made up of atoms. Three things that make up atoms, though, are the protons, which are positively charged, neutrons, which are no charge or neutral, and the third is electrons, which are negatively charged. Protons and neutrons are found in the nucleus, the center of the atom, right in here. Okay, so now that we understand that atoms make up everything, now we can actually understand the concept of elements and how elements go into compounds. So a little check so far. So right now we all know that matter has mass and volume. Okay, or sorry, yeah, it has mass and has volume. Okay, we have what's called a substance. A substance is made up of one type of atom or one type of molecule. Alright, so let's build on that. So first, elements, they are a substance. They are a thing. They're made up of one type. And it cannot be broken down into any further substances, whether it be by chemical means or by physical means. So like in this one, elements. Okay, elements are made up of the same individual atoms in example number 1. Okay. So every one of these is an atom and they're all the same. They are not connected in any way. They're just next to each other. But there are 7 what we call diatomic molecules, meaning that these are 2 atoms of the same type attached to each other. Hence why there's a line between these. The oxygen we breathe is a diatomic molecule that likes to, in nature, exist by attaching to itself. This is why if you've ever listened to a medical show, you hear them talk about what's called O2, which is actually oxygen in the tanks that they use for patients. So then compounds compared to those elements, okay? A compound is a substance that's made up of 2 or more elements that have been chemically combined in a specific ratio, like in a specific amount in a specific order, is what they mean by that. So we have some examples of what elements, like each one of these is an element, but since we have more, we have 2 in this one, we have 2 different types in this one, 3 different types in this one, 2 different types and 2 different types. All of these are compounds. It would be elements if they were all connected and they were all the same type of atom. So let's kind of look at compounds a little bit more. Okay, elements come together to form compounds. We know that now. Well, when the elements come together, they lose their original properties and gain new ones once they have created that compound. So, for example, hydrogen gas. Okay, hydrogen is a single proton, single electron, and they exist in gas form in their natural state. But when we add oxygen to it, oxygen is also a gas in its natural state. But once those 3 atoms are combined to form water, we get a liquid. That's where it typically is going to be, what phase of matter it is at room temperature. So we see that the properties begin to change as we make new molecules by combining those elements together. So let's continue with that then. So compounds, okay, remember elements cannot be broken down anymore, okay? They're the simplest form that they can be. Compounds, on the other hand, can. Okay, they can be separated chemically, whether it be by burning, using acids, or making some kind of reaction happen. But on top of that, okay, so since we can separate them chemically, we cannot separate them physically. Okay, we cannot cut a molecule in half. We cannot break it. Okay, it takes some kind of chemical reaction to make a compound change. So for instance, when you start a fire, that is actually you breaking down the compounds in whatever you're burning and breaking it into parts, and those parts are being released as heat, smoke, sometimes water vapor, all kinds of different things, but you are breaking the compounds. Now, a little vocab for us. Molecules, okay, we did talk about this in class a little bit. Molecules are the smallest form that a compound can make. So a single molecule of water has 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen attached to each other. That would be the smallest form water can take, would be a single molecule. Alright, and again, molecules, okay, are when we have 2 or more different kinds of atoms. Okay, so molecules go along with compounds, not elements. Okay, so let's kind of see where we're at now, guys. So far we know matter has mass and volume. We have substances. Substances are made up of only one type of atom or one type of molecule. And then those can be broken down into 2 groups as well, called the elements and compounds. Elements being not able to be broken down any further. They're in their simplest form. They're the simplest building block of the universe. Compounds, we take those building blocks, those elements, combine at least 2 together, maybe more, and we chemically combine them to attach to each other to make a totally new substance. So, boys and girls, that's actually going to complete our talk on compounds today. Compounds are fairly easy. The hardest part about them is making sure that when you're looking at things like a chemical formula, whether or not the elements are different or the same. So you have to remember your rules on the chemical symbols. And if you can remember those rules, determining whether or not something is an element or a compound, or what we're going to talk about also in class, mixtures, can become very easy as long as you know the tricks. So Science Warriors, guys, thank you all again. Video number 2 for the year. We're hitting compounds today. Look forward to seeing you guys in class, and we will see you next time. Peace, y'all.